This session is getting recorded. In case if you'd like to go through it again, it will be made available towards the afternoon, and it will be available always. Yeah, see, we have got integrated with Zeroda also. There's a query asking about Zeroda. Uh, yes, through API, you will be able to place orders uh, in Zeroda. We will look at some samples today in the live session as to how do we do that, of the method of say breakdown or breakout of a certain level. How do you trigger an order and place orders in any instrument? It could be in cash market, it could be in options, it could be in futures, any of the products that you are trading in. How to do that? We will look at some samples in the demo today. Yeah, like I was mentioning, kindly use the Q&A box to raise any kind of queries that you would have to know more about the functionalities that are available in our platform, how to use our platform. If you want to see something specific in the demo today, kindly let me know that also. I will take you through the features and facilities that are available in our website. And post that, we will get into the actual integration with TradingView. TradingView is very, very popular. We have a lot of users who run strategies or studies in TradingView, and they would like to automate those orders. So we will look at some samples of how to do that using TradingView. In case if anybody is interested in looking at Amibroker, kindly let me know. I'll be able to show the details or the demo in Amibroker also. So these are the two platforms which we can have a look at it today. Now, there are other platforms like charting also which are available, MT4 which are available, through which or from where you can trigger orders for placement of your trigger signals so that the orders can get placed in your broker account, right? So kindly use the Q&A box to raise any kind of query. It could be anything related to platform or trading. I'll try and answer them as we go along. You need not have to wait till the end of the session. As in, when you have any kind of query, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer those queries. Again, my name is Lokesh, part of Algomojo team. Yeah, we will start with a small presentation. Yeah. We'll start with a small presentation and then we'll get into the actual platform and then the integration with Amibroker or TradingView as well. So, see, we will look at what are the key benefits and what are the facilities that are available in our platform to begin with. Then we will look at how do we do an integration using TradingView for seamless processing of the signals that would be generated in TradingView, and those signals can get placed as orders in your broking account during live markets. Or if you want to test it out during off-market hours, you can still do it by placing paper trades as such. Yes. And in case if anybody is interested in looking at Amibroker connectivity, do let me know. I'll be able to show that also. See, currently we are restricted to Indian markets. As you are aware, crypto is still not legally allowed in the Indian context. So we have not integrated with any crypto exchanges. We are, however, working with some of them like CoinDX and those kind of people. Maybe going forward, we will have a facility for integrating with crypto exchanges also, and similarly for forex markets also. MT4 is available, MT5 not done yet. We will do that. Yeah, in case if anybody is looking at Amibroker, we can have a look at that today. So the advantage being that you can bring in any study which you would have in any of these kind of charting platforms. It could be a strategy, it could be something that you've drawn on the chart, and if there is a breakout or a breakdown, you would like certain types of orders to be placed, or if you have certain indicators running, and if those indicators are generating certain levels for you to take an entry or an exit, you can automate that. However, from TradingView, you'll be able to do that activity using a single indicator as such. If you want to use more than one indicator, then you will need to get a Pine script written in the trading view to check for conditions of multiple indicators, and if all the conditions are met by say 3 4 indicators that you want to refer to, and entry signal is given, it can be coded and you can run it in trading view, and when the conditions are met, the orders can be placed either for buying or selling as such. We do take up coding activity as a special requirement. If you have certain ideas which you would like to get it coded and then start trading in any of these platforms, do let us know. You can send an email to us. I'll share my email ID at the end of the session. You can send the requirements to that email ID. It will be lokesh@finfolab.com, and we can check for the feasibility if possible to get it coded. We will let you know in terms of what will be the effort involved, what will be the cost involved, what will be the time involved. And if you're okay with those things, we can take up the coding also. Uh, we'll spend time, a bit of time to understand what is the kind of support structure that we have built in, so that if you face any, if you require any support during the live markets, you will be able to access our support team and get whatever help would be required in terms of your trades as such. Then yeah, you can ask the questions using the Q&A box. Don't wait till end. Whenever you have any sort of query or any sort of doubt, feel free to ask them in the Q&A box. I'll try and answer them. Yeah. See, our Algomojo is a web-based platform. We don't have any app as such. We don't have any mobile app kind of applications. So using any browser, you will be able to log into our website and use all the features and facilities that are available and that are required for an investor or a trader as such. So it's a web-based platform. We act like a bridge between your charting tool and your broker. So whenever your charting tools are generating signals for an entry or an exit, we will be able to pick up those signals and place them as orders in your account. So we act like a mediator between these two platforms, your charting tool or your studies where you're running it, and your broker for order placements. We do not provide any strategies as such. So you can bring in any kind of strategy. It can be strategy, it could be indicator. You can put drawings on the chart, and based on those drawings, also you can place orders. Support, resistance can be drawn. If the price comes to those levels, entry and exits can be taken for the instrument that you would like to trade in as such. So you can get in any kind of study. You can get in any kind of strategy, and we are there to help you out to automate those studies and strategies. Per se, we don't provide, we are not an advisory service, we are not a tip provider, we don't provide any strategies or we don't sell any strategies as such. The advantage is that you can bring in your own studies and use our platform to place orders. Any queries so far? Let me know. So we have integrated with the most popular charting tools like TradingView, Amibroker, MT4 kind of environments. Then we provide multiple connectivity to brokers using their API structure. We depend on the brokers to provide the API interfaces, API connectivity. We have used and integrated so far close to about 30 odd brokers. All the major brokers are covered. So if you already have an account with any of the brokers with whom we have done the integrations, API integration, you'll be able to start using our platform. Yeah, we provide whatever execution modules and whatever codes are required for using in TradingView or in Amibroker. So you need not have to worry about getting into the codes and modifying certain codes which are there. No, nothing of that sort is required. It is more of a plug and play kind of environment that we have created. It's a simple one or two copy paste that you will need to do for integration purpose. Otherwise, neither you or we need to get into the source code of the strategies that you're running. You need not have to touch any of those source codes in TradingView or in Amibroker AFNs. Just plug and play certain modules or copy paste one or two things, and then you're ready to go. We have tried to keep our platform very simple, so that anybody with a basic knowledge of system usage, computer usage, will be able to automate their studies. So you need not have to have any kind of programming or coding knowledge prior to automate your studies. We have tried to keep this platform as simple and as user friendly to for all the users as such. Some of the key features would include things like you can decide what is that you want to trade. It is not that you have to depend on us to say what is that you can trade or what is that you cannot trade. Suppose you say that you want to trade in equities, or you want to trade in futures, or you want to trade in options. It could be Nifty, Bank Nifty, or it could be Sensex, or it could be MCX. You can trade in any of the instruments which are available in the Indian context as such. Right. And when it comes to options, you can trade in ATMs and ITMs and OTMs. You can be an option buyer, or you can do option selling also based on the signals that would be generated. So if you're an option buyer, when we receive the signal, we will place orders in options for you. It could be Nifty, Bank Nifty, commodities, any of these options. As long as your broker is supporting market orders, you'll be able to trade using in the options as such. So if the order quantity is large, then we will do the splitting of the orders. You need not have to worry about placing multiple orders. Our platform or system will take care of placing multiple orders, and also similarly closing multiple positions, which if it is available, and if the quantities are larger than the freeze limits, we will handle that for you. Yeah, we for risk management, we have quite a lot of features built in for looking at your targets or stop loss or trailing stop loss. You can set them in terms of percentage or in terms of the points that the instrument would move. If Nifty is, if you want to set a Nifty option futures a target of 100 points, 200 points, and the stop loss of 25 points, you can still do that. Or you can set it in terms of percentages also. If your futures moves up by say 1%, you would like to close the trade, or if it drops by 0.25%, you can close the trade. Those kind of settings can be done in our platform. Similarly, on MTM based also, you can set the target stops and the trailing stops as such. So if you have a target of say 15,000 rupees to be achieved during a day for a particular instrument that you're trading, so as soon as that target level or stop loss level is triggered or hit, we will close the position. We'll send the orders to the broker to place and close the positions which could be open. So these are some of the tools available for managing your trades better. Then you can, of course, trailing stop loss is again based on points or percentage. So you can decide what is that you would like to use. It could be MTM based also, or it can be even profit based. Suppose you're a swing trader and you carry forward your positions for a couple of days as such, or weeks, or even months also. And if there's a particular profit level that you're looking at, and if it is achieved, the system can close the positions for you. It can be in FNO, it could be even in MCX or even in cash markets, the carry forward trades. You can also set what is the start time and end time. There are people who like to trade only in the morning session or towards the end when the volatility is normally high. Some people would like to trade during the mid of the day for whatever is the logic that they would be using. So you can set the timings also when you want to trade and when you don't want to trade. Those kind of options are available in our platform for you for traders and investors both. And for all users, we have enabled or we provide paper trading facility. Now, our recommendation is that you start with the paper trading facility, understand how the entire thing or how the process works, how the Algomojo system works, the platform works, and test it out for a couple of days. And once you are convinced that the orders are getting placed or signals are getting processed as per your requirements, only then shift over to live trading as such. For all users, we provide up to 6 paper trading facilities, and all features and facilities that are available in the platform, you'll be able to test it out using the paper trading facility. Once you're ready with your studies in paper trade, you can get into live trade. And there is no limitation in terms of live trades. You can trade in any number of instruments, any number of orders can be placed. There's no limitation to that. Uh, uh, any queries so far on this, on some of the features? And also you can look at if you're a trader who is involved in futures or weekly options, you can set when do you want to roll over the positions which are open. Now, on the set date and time, if there are any positions open, we would close the existing contract and take up the next contract for you. So you need not have to worry about rolling over your positions toward the end of the week or on the expiry day as such. To help users to limit the number of trades that can be done, there are facilities like how many trades you can trigger in a day and how many similar kind of signals you want to trade. Those kind of settings can also be done so that it helps you in terms of controlling the number of trades that as a trader you would like to take. And also, if there are, we have seen places like Amibroker where people find repainting kind of issues. We have built a system to handle such situations also. If there is a repainting happening, you can control that. Or if you want to take a similar kind of signal, say by coming twice or thrice, we can still help you do that. Yes. See, premium based as of now, placement of orders is not yet enabled in our platform. Maybe at a future date it will happen, but premium based you will not be able to do it from our system as such. So our system is currently designed in such a manner that after you take a trade, uh, we can keep track of how is the position doing, whether it is in profit and whether it is going against your trade, and if you put a stop loss or if you put a target, we can help you in terms of closing those trades based on the limitations or the risk that you would have defined in the system. However, to place an order based on if a certain premium is reaching say 150 rupees, you would like to take an order entry into option of CE and PE both, such details are not yet available. Yeah, how do we uh, execute an order if a price closes above the trend line? We will look at some samples. You can do that from trading view as such. Yes, if it crosses above a resistance line or if it bounces back from a support line, if you'd like to take an entry, those kind of things can be done. Or if you have drawn certain trend lines, so breakout of a trend line or a breakdown of a trend line in trading view, we will look at some of those samples today. Yes, it's possible. You can do that. Yeah, for option people who use option strategies for trading based on a single signal, if you have multiple legs to be executed based on a single signal received, we can achieve that. Here, you will need to define all the set legs separately and then combine them as a group, and so that they get triggered based on the signal that would be coming in from your charting tool. Now, each leg needs to be defined individually as of now. Going forward, we will have some ready-made option strategies like your iron condors or butterflies as such. So, which will help you to define the all the legs at the click of a button. But as of now, you will need to define each leg separately. You can get notifications in Telegram. There's a bot called Algomojo bot. Using that, you can receive whenever there's a signal coming in and an order is getting executed. If you're outside of your system, you'll be able to get a notification also. You can the segments that you can trade in would include things like you can trade in intraday cash markets. Both long and short can be done in cash in intraday, and delivery, yes, has to be long trades. And you can trade in futures. It could be NSE, BSE, commodities, etc. And you can trade in options, which can be either static or dynamic. Now, if you're a trader and you would like to trade a particular strike for the entire day, you can do that also. Or if you want to select an ATM or an ITM or an OTM based on the spot when the signal comes in, we will look at what is that you're trying to trade. Suppose you're defined, you want to trade in ITM 5. So we will place orders for an ITM 5 in the money 5 for call or an option based on your requirement. Yeah. Currently, we have integrated close to 30 odd brokers, so which would include almost all the large broking houses in the country. Recent addition has been Zerodha. So, in case you have a Zerodha account, earlier Zerodha used to charge for their APIs. Now they have made it free of cost. So you can start placing your orders in Zerodha also. Uh, there's no absolutely no cost, and in case you open an account using Algomojo as a referral in Zerodha, then you get APIs free of cost from not only Zerodha, even from Algomojo. So close to 30 brokers are integrated. In case you already have an account with any of these brokers, you can start your trading using Algomojo. Or if you open a new account with especially with any of these 7 brokers, you get our Algomojo API is also free of cost for life. So kindly make use of this facility. Open a new account. Opening a new account is an easy process. Most of the brokers would have or they have a simple online process where you provide all your details for account opening, and it gets done in a day's time for you. So um, in case you don't have any account with any of these 7 brokers, use Algomojo as a referral so that your API trading becomes completely free. Brokers don't charge, and even Algomojo will not charge. If you already have an account with any of these brokers, and you would like to use our platform, you can do that, but there'll be a subscription charges that will be applicable. You need to subscribe for APIs from Algomojo, or you have various plans available, monthly, half yearly, and yearly plans. Sorry. So based on the subscription, you can take it forward for API based trading. And for people to get a feel of what our platform is all about, we allow 7 days trial with all these brokers when you're trying Algomojo for the first time. So kindly use the 7 days trial. If you find that we are able to meet your requirements in terms of uh, processing of signals and placement of orders and management of the trades that you're taking, not only trades, investments that you're doing, then only go in for subscription. Otherwise, in case if the platform is not able to meet your expectation or your requirement, you shouldn't end up taking the subscription and then finding out that this is not working out with Algomojo. So kindly use 7 days trial, check it out for yourself, get a feel and hang of how the platform works. And if you're comfortable after that, you can get into using our system regularly. Any queries so far? Kindly use the Q&A box to raise the queries. Um, Again, there are quite a few people who have joined pretty late. My name is Lokesh. I'm part of Algomojo team. This session is getting recorded in case if you have missed the early part of the session. Not to worry. The recording will be available towards the second half of the day. You can again access the recording and go through what has happened so far. We have been going through the features and facilities that are available. We have just started with a small presentation. Now, after this, we'll get into the actual look and feel of the platform. And after that, we'll get to see how do we do an integration of using TradingView for placement of orders. We will look at some live samples with the crypto market. Crypto markets are working on Saturdays and Sundays also. So we should be able to we will try and generate some live signals using those charts and place orders in our platform. Yeah, I'll show you how to get your trial subscription also. Yes. Yeah, what we will do is we will look at for automation. It's a two-step process. One is first you have to get into Algomojo or log into Algomojo and define what is that you want to trade. Whether you want to trade in cash market, options, futures, commodities, bank, checks, whatever are the symbols or things that you want to trade. How many lots you want to trade, whether it is carry forward, intraday, all that setting needs to be done as a one-time activity in Algomojo, and then go and do a setup in any of the starting tools. So it's a two-step process. First step is where you define what is that you want to trade, and second step is the integration with the charting tool. Yeah. So we will look at some samples and using TradingView. In case anybody is interested in Amibroker, let me know. I'll try and show some demo in Amibroker also. So before getting into details about integration using TradingView, let us look at our platform as such. So algomojo.com is our website. So to open a new account in any of those 7 brokers which I mentioned, to avail the free APIs for you for life, use Algomojo as the referral by going into this tab called Open Account. It will ask you for select the broker with whom you want to open a new account, provide your details of name, email ID, and phone number. It will take you to the broker's web page, and you can complete the process of account opening. And once the account is opened by the broker, you'll get the user ID and the password, which will be the same thing that you will need to use in Algomojo also for logging in and doing your trading every day as such. So you need not have to remember multiple user IDs for your broker and for Algomojo. It is the same credentials which you normally use for your broker logins need to be used with um, Algomojo also. So once you have your client ID, all you have to do is get into this page and go to login and log in with the broker with whom you want to trade. For today's demo, we will use a broker called TradeGenie. They're a Bangalore-based broker. Uh, they have been in the market for a very, very long time, very efficient platform, and they've built a good support structure. Now, in case you don't have an account, you can try and open an account with them also. Of course, they're not integrated with us for getting free APIs. However, they have an excellent platform in case you want to use them. So select the broker from here and say login, and it will ask for the user ID, password, and the TOTP details. Let me update the TOTP here. Just one moment. Yeah. So once you log in to any broker, the process is the same. Use the broker provided credentials and log in. You will get a home page, which is the look and feel is the same for all the brokers. You will get to see the dashboard showing you what are the positions open, what are the funds available in your account, those kind of things. And there's a facility for creating watch list. And from here also you can place manual orders. So you can manage all your trades from one login in Algomojo, and except for say adding funds and withdrawal of funds or getting some back office kind of reports, so you will need to log into your broker's terminal. Otherwise, it may not. It is not necessary that you have to have multiple logins. You can log into Algomojo to the respective broker and then do all your trades for the day. So once you log in, on the left side, you'll see a lot of tabs. The first tab is something called My API. When you click that for the first time, it will ask you to generate the API. It will say that please generate API. Once you click that, it will give you to begin with a 7-day trial period. This is how you get a 7-day trial period. In case you are not able to see that, you can go to this page and say start your free trial plan. So from here, when if you say 7-day free trial, so you'll get an access and APIs from Algomojo for 7 days to check out all the features and facilities and to test our platform to see how the platform functions. Is it able to meet your trading and investment requirements? And once you check that out for 5, 6 days or 7 days, you can get into any of the subscriptions. You have a monthly subscription, yearly, and half yearly also. On a monthly basis, it works out to 1,000 rupees, and on a yearly basis, it works out to 500 rupees per month. I'm sure you'll find this pretty competitively priced as such. We are trying to keep this as low as possible. And for people who have opened an account as Algomojo referral, you need not have to worry about the subscription. Your APIs will show it as it'll be free for say close to 10,000 days as such. So it'll be free for life for you as such. So the first step is to get the APIs of Algomojo, and then we define what is that you want to trade as a first step in Algomojo. The method to do that is go to this tab called My Strategies. We define what is that we want to trade here. Hope you are able to see my screen. Yeah. You'll need to first define what is that you want to trade from here. Let me try and suppose you're a trader and you would like to trade in, say, futures or options, you define that here. So the method of doing that is you go to this button called New Strategy. When you're doing it for the first time, the New Strategy button will be somewhere in the middle. After that, it'll get shifted to the right side of the screen. Say, create a new strategy and define what is that you want to trade. Now, for example, if you want to trade in futures, what are the settings to be done? Let's look at that. So you can give any name. I'll say demo 23rd EUG NF Nifty Futures. And the next field to be updated is called rule. This is the most critical part of it. There are 5 types of rule that we have defined based on various kinds of trading and investors requirements. I will explain these in relation to a chart so that you understand this better. In case if there's a mismatch in the rule that you use, then the trades may not happen as per your expectation. You need to be careful in terms of selecting the right rule, which will depend on the kind of strategy that you would be running in your charting tool as such. So I will show some samples and define or explain how these rules work so that it will help you to understand better and then select the rule as per your study requirements. So once you select the rule, we'll need to select the segment. Segment, we'll select it as futures. It could be, you can trade in equities, futures, and options, also dynamic options. I mean, if you are defining, if you want to trade in a specific option, then select this future and option. Or if you want a dynamic option to be taken whenever the signals gets generated during the day, use the dynamic option symbol. We will look at one of these samples of dynamic symbol also. So for current setup, we are trying to see how we do it for Nifty futures. So I'll select futures and option here, and then select the symbol here. If you type in the first few letters of the symbol that you want to trade, you get a drop down. From that drop down, select the instrument that you want to trade. For this demo, we'll use this Nifty August futures. Then order type can be NRMN or MIS. MIS for your intraday and carry forward would be a normal. And price is always market. We don't have any limit kind of prices or stop loss limit kind of pricing method. For now, you need to go with the market. So leave it at the default value of market for now. And we are planning to launch the other types of pricing types also, price types also, like limit or stop loss limit kind of thing shortly. So then you'll get a facility to add them or define the price for entry and exits also. So, and then say how many lots you want to trade. Suppose you want to trade, say 50 lots. It will show you the quantity in numbers also. So depending on the instrument, the numbers will vary. For bank Nifty, it will be different. For MCX, it could be different. For stock futures, it will be different. So accordingly, if the quantity that you're trying to trade is more than the freeze limit set for that instrument, we will split the orders for you. It will automatically take it, so you need not have to update this also. So these are some basic things that you have to first define, saying that I want to trade in Nifty futures on a carry forward basis, and I want to trade 50 lots every time there's a signal getting generated. This is the basic minimum information that you need to update. Now, once you define these, there are other optional settings in case if you want to use them, you can try it out. The bottommost portion shows you the timings when you want to trade. What should be the start time? What should be the end time? What should be the square off time for if you're an intraday trader? or if you want a rollover to be done, when you want to do that, how many signals do you want to, suppose you're a trader and you don't want to take more than say 5 trades in a day, you can limit it to 5 trades by saying that, okay, my max daily signal should be say 5. So if there are 5 signals coming in, after that, any more new signals coming in, it will not take the trades for you. After 5 trades, it will stop it for you. So if you want to do any limitation in terms of number of trades that you want to take, again, a part of your risk management facility, you can define it here. Otherwise, you can leave it to the default value of 0, which will take all the signals that would come during the day. It could be 10, 20, 100. There's no limitation. You can do as many trades as possible. So this is one section which you, if required, you'll need to update them. Otherwise, you can again leave it to the default settings. And if you want to use our platform to define the targets and stop loss, you can do that in this section. You can define the targets in terms of percentage, points, or MTEV as such. Similarly, your stops can be defined in terms of points or percentage or MTEV. So otherwise, if your strategy or your study is taking care of the requirements of targets and stop loss, don't worry. You need not have to update any of this fields in this section as such. This is more for your risk management kind of facility. And any queries so far, please use the Q&A box to ask any questions that you would have. So once you have said what is that you want to trade here, you can do a submit and you are ready for doing the setup for automation, right? So these are the few basic things that you need to update as to what is that you want to trade, and it is a one-time activity. You need not have to do this every day. However, if you want to change any values during the day or going forward, you can still edit the details. Like if you want to trade in, say, instead of 150 lots, you want to make it 100 lots, you can come and edit it and make it 100 lots or 150 lots, depending on what is that, or how many lots quantity you want to trade, which contract you want to trade. So all that can be edited and updated also, right? So once you do the submit, there are a couple of things which get generated at the bottommost section. One is for TradingView users. For if you have a strategy, there is one code that we need to use that will be provided. All you have to do is copy this and paste it in TradingView. That is all. And if you are an indicator, you have to create 2 alerts in TradingView. We'll look at some samples. You have to create entry and exit. For buy entry, you have to use this code, and for sell entry, it has to be this code. So how and where to use these codes, we will look at it with a sample as such. And for what you're trying to trade, there is a webhook URL that will be provided. This is the most important link between what is that you want to trade and your trading platform or charting platform, which will have all the information about what is the trade that needs to be executed. Yeah, see, super trend you're trying to, we will look at some samples of super trend also. All that you are trying to use in TradingView, all your backtesting or strategy would run in super trend. You can set whatever super trend settings that you want to do, all that in TradingView, not here. Here you have to just say what is that you want to trade, whether you want to trade in using super trend, you want to trade in Nifty, of Bank Nifty, or in options, or in cash market, all that you have to define it here. Otherwise, there's no other retest of the strategy is again, or backtesting of a strategy is a facility which is available in TradingView, not in our platform as such. Yeah, see, suppose during the day there's a query saying that you have 2, 3 instruments and your trade might come around 11 o'clock. Suppose you're an option trader and you would like to, currently the option is running at say 200 rupees, and you would like to take an entry if the option drops down to 11 o'clock. You need not have to keep sitting in front of your system to understand when will it come and trigger an order. You can set it up on the chart itself, and when the price comes to that 100 level, it will trigger an entry from the chart itself, right? And once the trade is taken, you can define here in terms of target and stop loss. You can say that, okay, once the trade is executed, you want the target to be 100 points, you can do that here. You want the stop loss to be 25 points, you can set it up here. So once the trade is executed, we will keep track of that in terms of your targets and stop loss. See, our platform is like, as I was mentioning, it is more of, it works more like a bridge between your charting tool or strategy running instrument or place platform and your broker. So we pick up the signals from your charting tool and place the orders with brokers. We don't have facility for back testing of your strategies. Back testing would require your strategy to be running and also historical data to be available. Now, if you want to backtest your strategy for say 5 years, 3 years, 10 years kind of time frame, you can have those kind of historical data and check how this strategy has performed for the last 2 years or 5 years or whatever time frame you're trying to check. And once you do the backtesting there and you find that the strategy is meeting your kind of trading investment returns or risk parameters or various valuation criteria that you would have, then you can use that and trigger orders from there to for placement of signals into your broker account. See, uh, backtesting, Amibroker provides huge flexibility in terms of backtesting. You can vary the quantity. You can do a lot of things. You can do optimization kind of things in Amibroker. Whereas in TradingView, and if you have historical data for past 5 years, 10 years, 15 years kind of time frame, you can do the complete backtesting in Amibroker. Whereas TradingView, there's a limitation in terms of how many candles you can get based on the based on the subscription you would have in TradingView. Yeah, so those things can be done in Amibroker. You have to write a special code saying that, okay, if we are doing a martingale kind of thing, you're adding positions or adding quantities or deleting quantities as the profitability increases, or the profitability of the strategy starts coming down. You can say that, okay, increase my quantity or decrease my quantity that I'm trading based on how the strategy has been performing. So you can do all those kind of variations and set those parameters in Amibroker and do the back testing. However, in our platform, it is not possible. And in terms of backtesting, even TradingView has got certain preset kind of parameters which can only be tested. Unlike in an Amibroker, where you could have any kind of parameters to be changed, it will not be possible in TradingView. Right. So once you have defined what is that you want to trade, there are these codes to be used in TradingView and this webhook URL to be used in TradingView. All you have to do is copy these things and paste it in TradingView or an Amibroker. And then whenever the chart is generating a signal, it can trigger the orders and place orders for you. So this is again a one-time activity. Once you do this, it will show you here in this table under my strategies. As you can see here, this is what we just created. By default, it will be in inactive state. You will need to enable it for paper trade first. Always start with the paper trade. And once you have experienced and seen that the orders are going as per your requirements, then you can get into live trade. So you can have up to 6 paper trials running simultaneously. And once you have done your testing, you can go in for live. Live, there's no limitation in terms of how many live trades you can do. See, for linking for every account, you have to have a subscription, either a subscription from Algomojo, or if you have opened 2 broker accounts using Algomojo as a referral, then you can use those APIs free of cost from us. So, but for each account, you have to have either a separate subscription from Algomojo, or you will need to have opened an account with Algomojo for both the accounts. In case you have one subscription and you want to trade in say 4 brokers, That will not be possible. You'll need to have either 4 accounts open in Algomojo, or you have to take 4 subscriptions in Algomojo for each of the broker accounts. Hope that clarifies. Yeah. So once you do this, every day in the morning, you will need to log in around the market open time. Say, do it after 8:30 or 8:45, as close to market open time as possible. Come to this section called My Strategies. Sorry, yeah, My Strategies, and enable for paper trade or live trade. By default, it will get into inactive state every day. It's sort of regulatory requirement that the login has to be done every day, and the strategies need to be enabled every day. So that is the purpose. It can't be perpetually on or perpetually logged in into your account 365 days. That's not possible. It is not allowed as per the regulation. You have to do it every day. So log in to the broker account. We fetch the details from broker for your order placements, the tokens in the morning, and the fresh tokens are generated by the brokers every day for each of those accounts, and they will be ready after the everyday maintenance activities around after 7:38, depending on the broker. So the tokens would vary of today and tomorrow, kind of thing. So you can't be logged in and just forget about it. It's not possible. So you have to log in every day, come here and enable for paper trade or live trade. So one after you do that, the next step is to go and do the setup in TradingView. Any queries so far on this setting up of what needs to be done in Algomojo? Please ask. Otherwise, we can get into the integration part using TradingView. Right? Yeah. Yes, you can trade in commodities. You can trade in any of the segments which are allowed in the Indian markets as such. Cryptos and forex are not yet. They're not allowed. So you will not be. Otherwise, Nifty, NSE, BSE, MCX, all these exchanges are available for trading commodities also. Yes. Yeah, so you will need to have a subscription for TradingView. That is an important thing because we use a facility called Webhook URL, which is supported only in the subscription models of TradingView. Otherwise, TradingView will allow almost all free things to be accessed without any subscription, but with certain limitations. Whereas for automation purpose, you will need to have the basic subscription at least from TradingView. Uh, Kindly take the TradingView subscription, get the facility of using the webhook URL, and then start the process of automation. And the first step in the automation would be that you have to check what is that you want to trade. Suppose if it is Nifty, load the chart, or if it is Bank Nifty, you will load the Bank Nifty chart, or it could be Reliance, it could be any stock that you want to trade. If somebody was asking an option price, if it reaches a certain level, you can load an option chart here also. Suppose you want to trade in Nifty, say 25,000 CE call, you want to take an entry. If the price, I think the closing price was around 50 or 60. If it comes to say 100 also, you want to take an entry, you can do that in the chart itself. Now we will look at how to do those kind of setups. You can open a option chart of say 25,000 CE or 25,000 PE, whichever option you want. So TradingView provides you the option charts also, option pricing also. So open the chart and put in a line of where you want your entry or exit to happen, and then create an alert. So it's a simple process. First, we will see how to do it using. I think a lot of people are looking at a trend line or resistance or a price action based entry. So we will look at that kind of sample today. But so after you load, say the trading symbol that you want to use for generating the signal, we'll need to create an alert. So let us look at Bitcoin. The market is open today. Yeah, select the Bitcoin chart. As you can see, the price is running. And after that, select the time frame in which you want to trade. For example, let's look at a 1 minute time frame. Yeah, the basic a subscription of TradingView allows up to 20 alerts to be created. If you have more than 20 alerts, then you need to get into the next level of subscription. So let's look at if you look at the TradingView pricing. So I think the Plus allows up to 100 price alerts. So you can create 100 alerts, or you can start with, if somebody wants to start with, you can go with the essential plan, which allows up to 20 price alerts to be set. If it is Plus, then it is 100. So based on your subscription, the number of alerts that you can use also would keep increasing. So with Plus kind of subscription, you can do 100 alerts. Yes. Coming to the chart again. So somebody was asking if there's a breakdown or a breakout, how do we do the take an entry? Say, for example, in Nifty futures, you want to take an entry if there's a breakdown or a breakout. So all you have to do is first draw your load your symbol. Second, select the time frame. Of course, for trend line kind of thing, or for that matter, any strategy or any indicator, always choose the time frame that you want to use, right? So if it could be 1 minute or 5 minute or 15 minute, whatever candle that you are referring to, and then do the trend line or load the strategy that you want to trade. Now, for example, if you want to do a breakout or a breakdown, how do we do that? Let's check those samples first. So we'll draw a trend line, something like this. It could be anything. Suppose this is the trend line that you have put in, and if the price falls below this, you would like to take a short entry. And if we'll put a trend line like this also. So for example, if the price breaks out above this level, say you want to okay, suppose if the price breaks above this level, you want to take a long entry, and if it breaks down below this trend line, you want to take a short entry. So such kind of things can also be achieved here. So let us look at how do we do this stuff. So you put in your study. It could be trend line, it could be horizontal line also. For example, something like uh, a horizontal line. Suppose you consider this as a resistance point, and you take this as a support point, right? So if the price, for example, comes down to support and starts going up, you want to take a long entry. And when it hits the resistance level, you want to exit the entry that has been taken. Even that can also be done in this system. So it can be any kind of drawing that you would have, any kind of study that you would have. All you have to do is put in your study onto the chart and create another. For example, let's look at what, suppose we feel that the price is going to come down and breaks down this trend line and you want to take a short entry. All you have to do is click on this line, right click on this line and say add an alert on the trend line. And you can say that if the price starts crossing down and if the bar closes below the trend line, right, you will want the order to be triggered or the alert to be triggered. So these are two settings that we do. We say that okay, the price is going to cross down, and the candle closes below the trend line. I want a trigger to be done for entry of the signal. Now, what is that entry that we need to take? That has to be defined under the message section. We will say that okay, the price is going to break down, then we will want a sell to happen. So we'll give this a name. We will say TL short entry. Sorry. Right. And the content of the message has to be updated to take a sell entry. So let us take that from Algomojo. So once you've created this strategy of Nifty, go to that page. You can view it without editing and go to the indicators and take this code of sell and place it here. Place it here and go to notification section and update this webbook URL with the one that we are trying to trade. Just take this webbook URL from our website and place it here. right? So this is all needs to be done. So you're saying that if the price breaks down below the trend line, you want to take a sell action should be sell, a sell signal should be generated, and it has to be sent to this reference in the webhook URL. And you say create. That's all is the step involved. Now, as you can see here, the alert would be shown, and when the price comes down below this study that you put in, it will trigger a sell order. Any um, clarification as to how to do this? Similarly, if the price moves above this trend line, you want to take a say long entry. All you have to do is go here and do a clone. Sorry, for trend lines they don't allow clone. Okay, again here we will click on the the trend line and say add an alert. And if the price we will say as crossing up, we want the price to move up and the candle to close above this trend line, then we will say that if the candle closes above the trend line, we want a buy to happen. So we will put in the necessary code of buy, sorry, yeah, into this and give a name as trend line long entry and update the webhook URL. Since we are trying to trade in Nifty futures, it can be the same webhook URL. It will by default take the previous webhook URL you have used. So be careful while selecting this. So that is all that needs to be done, and we will say create. So you have two alerts created, one for short entry and one for long entry. So if the price crosses above this level, it will trigger a long entry. And if it crosses below this line, it will trigger a short entry. That is all that needs to be done. There's nothing else that you have to do. Yes, your trading your subscription will allow this webhook support for 100 up to 100 alerts. So when the price alert facility is available in your subscription, to that extent you can create so many alerts as such. For example, now we have just created two alerts. So you might have, there are people who use we have seen people who use FNO stocks, 200 of them, 250 of them. For each of them, they have to create separate alerts, or there are facilities like you can run it on a watch list kind of thing. Depends. So with the subscription, it's there are 20 alerts that can be triggered. You will have, or for the plus kind of subscription, you have 100 alerts. So you can create 100 alerts, and for each of those alerts, you can define separate webhook URLs. Yes. So it's a simple process. Put in your study in terms of trend line. It could be strategy. It could be resistance and support levels, and create alerts. The process of creating alert is say for example you want to take a short, you want to close a long entry if it is taken here. So all you have to do is come here because you identified this as a resistance level. You can say that add alert. Right click on the drawing and say add alert, and you can say that if the price is crossing up from below, if the price comes and touches this line like this, you want the position taken to be closed. The long entry would have happened because of the trend line, and the short entry, you're closing the position based on the resistance level. So you can do your straight setups like this also. Yes. And similarly, if you want, if there's a breakdown and you want to close the short position taken, because this you feel is a good support for the market and it could start moving up. So when the price takes an entry of short after breaking down the trend line that you have put in and comes to this level of support area, you want the short trade to be closed. That can also be achieved. Same manner. All you have to do is, it could be anywhere. You right click on this and say add alert. And you can say that if the price is crossing down from above, because you've taken a short entry here, it is coming down. If it is going to go below this line and you want the trigger to happen, you can define that in trading. It's a simple process of achieving it. Any queries on this? How to do the kind of, if you have any particular study or indicator or strategy, I'll show super trend also how to use that. Uh, you can let me know. I can try and show it for this demo. The advantage being that, sorry, In TradingView, whatever drawings, alerts that you put will always be there. So say you want to trade on the based on the trend line breakout on Monday, you can do that. Say you create this and for one time as a one-time activity, and after that you can still keep varying this. You can move it, shift it up or down also. Suppose you created a trend line like this, you feel that okay, I have to make it much deeper, bring it down like this, and that's it. It is very interactive. You can manipulate it or move the drawings, indicators on the screen itself. So if the price crosses above this trend line and closes above the trend line, it will trigger an order fee, a long entry fee. So it is a one-time setup to be done in TradingView, a one-time setup to be done in Algomojo. After that, you need not be sitting in front of your system. Whenever these conditions are met, the trades will be taken. See, Excel based, um, we don't have any model which can trigger based on Excel. So Excel is you need to get live prices in Excel and then do an integration using the APIs in Excel. To that extent, we are not there. We are not focused much on Excel. What we provide in Excel is a very, very rudimentary kind of thing where you again have to go and click a button to place an order. It will not automatically sense what is the price at any given point in time, and based on the price reaching that desired level, an entry of long or short to be taken. That kind of sophistication is not there as of now with us with our Excel model, which is there. So while we are waiting for the price to go up and close above this trend line, if there are any queries, kindly let me know. I'll try and answer them. Yeah, I can show any indicator if you want to see, or strategy if you want to see. We can try and test it out. Now, for example, if somebody was talking about super trend, suppose you have a super trend like this. So as you can see, super trend is always in buy or sell condition. So if you want to trade based on super trend also, or it can be any strategy. You can bring in your own strategies. It can be any Pine script strategy that you would have developed or procured or available in TradingView free of cost, or you paid for them and then you have taken that subscription also. You can still use it for placing orders automatically on those studies or indicators or your strategies as well. And again, you need not have to worry about looking into what is the code of super trend or any trend that you have done or any changes to be done in those codes. Nothing of that sort is involved. All you have to do is create alert, which is a simple process of for almost the process is similar to like what we did for trend line. We will look at one for super trend also. It is a simple process of copying and pasting in webbook URL and the message box content. That's it. Once you do that, do the setup one time, it is always there for you. So, like again, if you want to use SuperTrend as a facility for generating signals and taking orders, let's see how to do that for, say, Bank Nifty, for example. So here you can, we will try and create a Bank Nifty future or trading Bank Nifty options, for example. Right? We'll give a name saying that demo 23rd BN options. Rule, we'll keep it as stop and reverse. And segment, we will select it as futures and we'll select dynamic options. And we'll select the instrument as Bank Nifty. And expiry will take the current month expiry. And we will say we want to trade in ITM, say 5. And if you're an option buyer, you can select buying. If you're an option seller or you want to do a hedging, that's also possible. So you can say buying, and you define that you want to trade in, say 100 lots, which will be about 3,500 quantity. So once we update this, we just say save. And for strategies, we'll be using this code under the TradingView section. Just copy this, come to TradingView, and on your strategy, just create an alert. alert is, if you click on these three dots, it will give you the facility to add alert on Supertrend. Click on that, go to message box, and whatever is there by default, remove that and paste this code from Algomojo. Sorry. Yeah. This code for strategies. For indicators, it is something different. For strategies, it is something different. So for indicators or price-based action, we created two alerts, one for buy and one for sell it, for sell. Whereas for strategies, it is just one alert that you need to use and one code to be used. That's all. So we copy this and we paste it here. And webhook URL, we will paste the webhook URL that we have just created for Bank Nifty. Copy this and paste it here. And give this a name. We will say BN options demo. That's it. As you can see, the alert will be created here. It's shown BN options demo. So the price has just reached that level. It did not cross the trend line. So that is why the alert is not triggered yet. Right. Now, super trend is in the long mode. As you can see, the last signal is in super trend is buy. So suppose enlarge it, we'll get a better visibility. So whenever the super trend gives a sell signal, it will take the PE, and whenever there's a buy coming in, it will close the PE and take the CE. That's right. Webhook URL is the most critical part, as you can see here. That is what links you to the trade. If you can go to the visible mode here, and you can see the entire code here. The important part is this TC294. From here, we'll be able to make out. So when TradingView is sending information to us, they will send it to this code. Say whether a buy signal is generated or a sell signal is generated, they will send it to this code. From here, you will be able to interpret as to which is the broker, like TC is TradeGenie, ZE for Zerodha. For each broker, it will be different. And for under that broker, what are the webhook URL? From this, we can make out that this signal that has come from TradingView pertains to so and so customer, and for that customer, which is the strategy that we or trade that we need to take out, will be under this section called AL0027 TC underscore 294 slash place order strategy. That's it. So you can see that from here. It is 294. The previous webhook URL will have the value of 293. The earlier one to that is 290. So for this field is what it makes it unique. So from here, we will be able to interpret when the signal comes for 294, we will go and check what is the trade to be taken under 294 strategy or for the client, and accordingly place order. If it is coming as 293, we will know that we have to trade in futures, and if it is 294, we will know that it has to be a trade in options for Bank Nifty. So that is how we will interpret based on the webhook URL. If you by chance mismatch or don't update the webhook URL correctly, instead of Bank Nifty futures options, you would have put Nifty futures option webhook URL there. Then the trade will happen in Nifty futures and not in Bank Nifty options. So be careful in terms of doing the copy paste. For each, it will be unique. One only disadvantage I would say it is a disadvantage. It's a facility wherein TradingView would say that okay, they try and copy the same webhook URL for the next alert that you create. For example, here we have created a alert for trading in Bank Nifty future. Suppose we are creating one more new alert for trading in Bank Nifty options. By default, they would have put the same webhook URL. So you'll need to update that with a new webhook URL, right? So just be careful in that. Now, while we were looking at, we can see that the price has crossed this trend line and above the trend line. It has closed above the trend line. So it should have triggered a bang alert. Let's look at that. You can see that trend line long entry has been triggered. And also super trend has given us sell. So this would have this is what we are saying. Be an options demo. So it has sent a sell signal. So let us look at both the orders. What has happened? So as you can go to Algomojo, and these can be seen under the section called My Signals. Under My Signals, you can see that the order number 294 or the strategy number 294, we have created this for Bank Nifty options trade, and 293 is what we created for uh, Nifty trade. So this was a trend line breakout, and this is based on super trend. So let us look at what is the order for 293. Buy signal has come. You can go to the order section and see that the futures order has been triggered and the position is open for 3,750 quantity paper trade. You can make out from here. If it's a paper trade, it will be P. Otherwise, it will be blind. It will be a live trade. See, we have defined to trade in ITM 5. If you define to trade in ATM, then it will take the trade in ATM. No, it has to be same. You have to take, suppose you want to trade C in ITM 5 and P in ITM, say ATM, you will not be able to define it that way. But if you can, you can create two alerts, one for CE and one for PE. That way, so for CE, you can say that, okay, I want to trade in ITM5 as a separate strategy. And for PE, you have to create it as a separate strategy for trading in ATM. So instead of one alert, you are creating two alerts. So one alert for trading in CE and the other alert is for trading in PE. So in super trend now, sorry, trend line, we have this trend line breakout. If it comes and closes below this, then a sell order will be triggered. And similarly, super trend, if it gives a buy now, we didn't see that order, right? So let us look at what has happened to this signal of 194. Be an option sorry, 294. So signal has come and order has been placed for trading in PE. As you can see here, we had said ITM5 PE. This is what is the ITM5 PE, and the position is for 3,500 lots, 3,500 quantity, and the put taken as you can make out from here. It is 58,000 PE. And once you do these setups in TradingView, it can keep running for you. You need not have to be standing in or sitting in front of your system. You can, in fact, close down your system. All you have to do is every day in the morning, come here, log into Algomojo, go to the strategy section, and enable for live trade or paper trade, and you can shut down the system. Don't log out from the system. Don't log out from Algomojo. If you log out, the signals will be missed. It will not be processed. Whereas you can just shut down your system or shut down your browser, or for whatever reason your say the internet is down, not to worry. Whenever signals are coming from TradingView, it will come to Algomojo directly, and we will process the signals for you, and the orders will get placed with the brokers without any intervention as such. Yes. So all you have to do is just come in the morning, and these are one-time setups. You enable for live and paper trade, and after that you can close your systems, shut down your system, and carry on with your other works. What you would have, the systems will take care of it for you. For if the TradingView, as you are aware, is running on cloud, and it'll keep running your strategy, and whenever the alert conditions are met, it'll keep triggering the signals and sending it to Algomojo, and we will send it to your brokers for placements. As simple as that. So you need not have to have the trading view open always, or keep monitoring for the signals and placing the order. Everything can be handled by the systems itself. And the automation part is the most easiest part. We have tried to make it. It's just that alert in that message box, whatever has to be copied and pasted, you do that and update the webhook URL. That's it. There's no other complication involved. See, if you have selected paper trade, it will not be displayed under in the broker's terminal. You'll be able to see it only here in our system. Okay. Whereas if it's a live trade, we would recommend that look at in your broker's terminal or broker's app itself. It will be showing live trade. Here what you will see is, we are dependent on the feedback or the inputs from the broker. Now there are brokers who are very dynamic, and they keep updating the frequency with which they keep updating the prices are pretty good. So you will almost be able to see whatever is the P&L as like what you see in the broker's app or the terminal. There are some brokers where there could be a delay, but you will find a mismatch in P&L kind of thing. I would recommend that use the platform to place orders, and for if you are keen to look at keep looking at the P&L kind of things, I would say that look at your mobile app or your broker terminal as such for more realistic kind of updates there. Any queries? Anything, people? Any clarification on how do we do the setups? Like while this was happening, as you can see, there's a breakdown in the trend line. You can see that uh, the long was also triggered, and then I think if the candle closes below this level, then short will also get triggered. Yes, good thing that somebody asked for the rule to be explained. So let me try and shift these trend lines. See, when you are using a strategy, something like a super trend, uh, like similar to super trend in the sense, it is always in trade. It can be any strategy. So it could be UT bot, half trend, whatever. But the strategy is always in trade. That is, it is either long or short, right? So when a long is triggered, you want a long entry either in futures or in a CE to be bought. When a short comes, you want the long to be closed and the similarly CE to be closed or a futures to be closed and a reverse entry to be taken, a PE to be taken or a short of a the future to be taken. So for such kind of strategies, which are always in trade, and whenever there is a signal coming in, you want a particular kind of trade to be taken. And when the reversal comes, you want that opposite of what is currently running to be taken up. Then you have to use a rule called stop and reverse. That is to say, you stop the long trade and take a short trade, take a reverse of the trade. That is a short trade. So you stop the CE and take a PE, or close the CE and take a PE. So the rule to be used for such kind of operation, that is such kind of strategies which are always in trade, either long or short, use the rule called, let me show it here. Go to strategies. So yeah, go to edit. So the rules are, you have long only, short only, long plus short, buy sell, long plus short, buy sell, short cover. And the last one is stop and reverse. So stop and reverse is buy sell, short cover. So for super trend kind of strategies which are always in trade, use this stop and reverse. Now suppose for example, you feel that from Monday onwards, the market is going to trend and you want to take only the long trades. You don't want to take any short trades. For example, in the super trend itself, then you say that, okay, when a buy comes, I want a long entry to be taken. When the sell comes, I want the long to be closed and not to take the short, or I don't want to take the PE. Then you use a rule called long only. Go here, and there's a rule called long only, buy and sell. So what it will do is it will look for only buy signals. So when a buy comes, it will take a long entry. It could be futures, it could be options, anything, CE kind of thing. And when a sell comes, it will close the long position in the futures and close the CE. It will not take the reverse trade. So if that is what you want, you can use the long only. Or if you feel that the market is going to trend down and you want to take only the short trades, then use short only as the rule. Or if you want to take, there's one more variant. What we have seen is that there are strategies which will take an entry and they have certain kind of target and stop loss built in. For example, there is a target level, say here. The entry, long entry is taken and the target is met here, and it is expected that you also close the long entry taken and wait for the next signal. There's no trade in between. For example, next trade comes somewhere here. A sell will come somewhere here. But target has been hit here and the position is closed. right? So for such kind of activity or such kind of strategies where you take an entry and after some time either target or stop loss is hit, you close the position and wait for the next signal to come in. So it could be again a buy or it can be a sell. So for such kind of activity or such kind of definitions in the in the strategies, use a rule called buy, sell, short and cover. Sorry, buy and sell or long and short. So when a buy comes or a long is triggered, it will take a buy. And when a sell or a target is hit or a stop loss is hit, it will close that long position. It will not take the reverse trade. And after that, suppose for example, a sell comes, you want the sell to be taken, so it will take a PE or it will take a short in the futures. And when the buy comes, it will close that. And after that, there's no trade. So if your strategy is intermittently in trade, so it is not always in trade, it is intermittently in trade. So it will take an entry and close after hitting a target or a stop loss and wait for the next appropriate entry. It could be long again or a short trade. So in between, there's a phase where there's no trade happening. So for such kind of rules, use the third type called long play short, buy sell. Short and cover, there's one more variant in that called buy, sell, short and cover. Short and cover are some definitions which are used in mostly in Amibroker kind of environment, and very rarely you will come across in trading view. So if your strategy is not always in trade, intermittently in trade, use this long plus short only in trading view. And in Amibroker kind of environment, you can use the buy, sell, short cover. See, if your whatever strategy that you're running, if it is programmed if it is programmed to send an alert or create an alert whenever there's a signal, the alert will be generated and it will be shown here. It can be long or short. If this gets generated in your strategy, the order or the signal will be sent to Algomojo from TradingView and we will execute the order. Now, what happens is if your UT bot or what strategy is intermittently creating buy, but after the candle closes, there's no signal that buy has disappeared. It did not sustain. Okay. But if the alert is not created, then no issue. But if the alert is generated, then the order will necessarily get executed. But if the coding is done in such a manner that it will wait for the candle to close and the signal is sustained, then not an issue at all. But after the candle is closed, if the signal is not sustained, but in interim the alert got generated, there's no way of stopping it in trading. However, we have handled it in a different manner in Amibroker, where you can say that if the bar closes and if the candle closes and if the signal is sustained after the bar close, then the trade has to be signal has to be generated and sent across to Algomojo for execution. That happens. So if a buy is coming for a very quick period and then it disappears or it doesn't sustain, then the signal will not be sent to Algomojo for execution. That is controlled in Amibroker, whereas most strategies will not have an issue in TradingView. That's what we have seen. The repainting issue is not there in TradingView. But however, due to some issue in code or Pine script that you're trying to use generates that kind of thing, then yes, it's an issue. You can't stop the order; it will get executed. You have to control it in your Pine script itself, not to for the signal to be genuine. It has to sustain after the candle is closed. Only then the alert has to be triggered. You can control that in your code itself. Then it's not an issue. So if the buy is coming for 2 seconds or 1 second and then it disappears when the next signal or next candle opens, then if it is handled not to generate an alert in the Pine script itself, it will not trigger the alert. So there'll be no issues. But repainting kind of issue we see more in Amibroker codes rather than in TradingView. There are some functions which they're not used properly in the codes generated for Amibroker. Then, say we have seen some cases 510 buy signals keep coming regularly, and then after the candle closes, there's no signal at all. But the five orders would have got executed. Though we have handled it in a different manner in Amibroker, we found that it is an issue, and we have provided a simple solution to check if this signal sustains after the running candle closes and gets into the next candle. If it sustains, then it sends an order. If it does not sustain, then it will not send an order. Any other queries? Anybody? Any specific thing anybody would like to look at in TradingView, Amibroker? Let me know. I'll try and show them. So, um, all you have to have is your own strategy or indicator, or your study like trend line, or it could be resistance, support, price action based studies. And all you have to do is create an alert. It's again a one time activity. Even the price also, for example, you created some support level. Tomorrow you feel that, okay, this is not a good support, it might further drop down. Then if you want to move it down further, you can keep shifting them like this. So if you have, instead of here, you want the price to come down till this level, and then the order short entry taken that needs to be closed, it can be achieved. Similarly, if the resistance, you want to bring it down to further level down like this, you want to close your long trade taken here, you can do that also. These are all simple kind of setup, and creation of alerts. Suppose you want to stop these alerts, you might be aware. All you have to do is go and pause the alerts that you would have created here. So it will not generate any signals. So I say you don't want to trade on, say, Tuesdays when the volatility is high. We feel that the market moves could be very random, and for whatever reason, and you don't want to trade on the expiry days. Uh, then you can come and stop it here and again restart on normal days. um, Trying to figure out when you what say if there are two strategies, and if both of them give a buy signal, then you want to get that executed instead of individual strategy, long entry or short entry. No, you have to create that in the code itself. You have to program it in your code itself to check for both the strategies, and if both of them are giving buy signals, for example, you say you're using half trend and super trend. If both of them have given buy, then the long entry has to be taken. So it can be done, but you have to do it at the coding level. So the code will check whether the long is triggered in super trend and also in another UT bot strategy. And as soon as the second strategy also triggers a similar kind of entry, then it can take the long entry or short entry, whatever is required. But you have to modify the code that you want to use for such kind of requirements. Yeah, see, all you have to do is uh, you can suppose you want to use the super trend. You can use, there are so many freewares available. Go to indicators and search for super trend and load it from here. For example, this is another variant. Let me try and hide this. Yeah, this is another super trend. As you can see, there are so many variants available. for Supertrend. Supertrend has been there for a long time. A lot of people have used this. So there you will find various types of super trends. So if you've done, if you've found an super trend and you want to trade based on that, you can load it on your chart and then create an alert. Go here and say create an alert. You can say super trend. Whereas the super trend is more like an indicator. So it is asking for condition to be met and trigger to happen. So accordingly, you will need to create two alerts, one for entry and one for exit. Whereas the earlier one which we saw was the actual super trend strategy as such. So there's a difference between a strategy and an indicator. So this is more acting like an indicator. Now, in case you want to refer to a similar kind of thing, super trend, what I was showing earlier, like this. You can download it from our website also. We have we have loaded some popular strategies and kept it in our website. If people want to use them, they can use it. It is freely available. All you have to do is go to the strategy section and select TradingView, and you can use all these are freely available. These are not our proprietary strategies. These are freewares which are available in the market in TradingView. Since they are very popular, we have made those codes available here. You can say download the super trend and then say you can see this code, and if you want to make any changes to the code, make that and load that in TradingView and start using it. So that can be got from here. If you go to the left section under the panes of this, on the left pane, you will see the strategies. Go click here, and if it's there are some Amibroker strategies available. These are the pretty popular strategies of Amibroker. You can either look at them, or you can also check TradingView kind of strategies. These are all there. Yeah. Yeah, limit order as a facility, we have done a level of testing. There is furthermore things happening on the limit order front. Maybe very soon, I would say in 2 to 3 weeks, a couple of weeks, we should be able to launch that as a facility and will be available as such. Yeah, similarly, like an indicator, if you want to use say something like an RSI, it can be any indicator. You load the indicator and then process is similar. Go click on this more button and say add alert on the indicator, and say the condition is say if the RSI is crossing up a value of say 70, and you want to take a long entry, update this with the buy code instead of the sell code. For indicators, you'll need to use two codes. Go to Algomojo and copy the code from here, indicator, and say buy. Go to TradingView and put this here. If it is say you want to take or close the long entry taken, if the RSS starts coming down 70 value, instead of buy, you can say sell. And in terms of settings, you can say crossing down. If the price, if the RSS starts coming down, the value of 70, you want a long to be closed and the short to be taken, or you want the longs to be closed, you can create an alert there. Yes, the recording will be available towards afternoon. You'll have access to that. So whichever is the indicator, you can load them and create an alert. Alerts, always remember, you have to create two alerts, one for entry and one for exit. It could be short entry or long entry, and similarly, exit of long or short. All these are one-time activities of creating alerts. They're always available. In case you need any assistance, you can always contact us in terms of getting to understand how to do the setup 1 or 2 times. We will be able to help you out. After that, this process is very, very simple. You have to create an alert either by defining the conditions and to buy and sell, when to buy and when to sell. And if it is a strategy, one code, one alert to be created. and leave it in trading view. So whenever your strategy is generating based on the conditions, say buy or a sell or a long or a short, it will send it to Algomojo for execution. We will send the signal to your broker for placement of orders. Any queries? Any other queries? Anything else? People, anybody has got any idea? Would like to have a look at that? Let me know. I can try and show it for you. Any queries so far? Great. Now, coming back to our presentation, we saw some samples as to how to do super trend automation, or if it is trend line kind of automation, how to do that. If it's any indicator, it can be RSI, it could be MACD, or any indicator, load the indicator and create an alert for entry and exit. That's it. In terms of copy the message box content, which is given in Algomojo platform, and update the strategy webhook URL into that alert. That's it. There's no other thing to be done for processing the signals whenever they get achieved as such. See, combined strategy-wise, stop loss in terms or targets. As of now, say indicate or strategy-wise is available. Suppose you're trading in Nifty, Bank Nifty, you're trading in commodities. For each of them, you can set separate target and stop loss. Whereas if you want to check all the strategies, all the things that are positions which have been opened, futures, cash, commodities, everything, and if a certain level of stops are hit or targets are met, you want to exit all the trades, that as a facility will shortly be available. It is almost developed and tested. We yet to roll it out. We will do that shortly. We are expecting a new version to happen sometime in September. So we will have a combined checking of all the positions open, and based on what you want, when you want to trade all the close all the trades, if a certain profit is done or a stop loss is set, we'll close all the trades. It will be available shortly. My expectation is next month we should be able to roll out a new version, which will have these kind of facilities. Yes. From 1st of October, there's a new rule which has been announced. It should have got implemented on 1st of August itself, whereas they deferred it to 1st October. It requires that any API orders be sent across using a static IP. So all users will need to have a static IP. You need to have a static IP for trading using APIs. So that will be an additional cost. The model is worked out. We have not yet announced the pricing. So even if you have the APIs free of cost, the static IP is a very limited source. It is provided by the internet service providers, data centers. There's a cost involved, so that we are forced to pass it on to the users. We will not be able to absorb that. So that will be an additional cost for everybody as well. So we will share those costs as close to 1st October kind of implementation timelines. See, price based, yes. If it's intraday order you're trying to close, then you can set a time. If suppose you're trading in Nifty futures, options, MCX, whatever, and you want the trades to be intraday, you want to close it at say 245 or 250, 255, whatever. You can set the time. Price based is again your profit or stop loss based. So if a target is set, you want the position to be closed, we can do that. You can do that setting. And if a stop is hit, it can close the trade here. So this static IP would be pertaining to your machine as such, your laptop from where you are sending the order. Whereas what is happening here is there are multiple things involved. As you can see here, we have TradingView. Um, TradingView is sending the signal to us, uh, to Algomojo, and we have to send it to the exchange or to the broker, and broker will send it to the exchange. Now, the mandate is that the broker should receive the signals from a particular IP for the user. Now, the signal is not going from your laptop, for which you would have a static IP. It has to be from a static IP of yours in Algomojo. That's right. In terms of your target and stop loss, whichever hits first, that will happen. Or if both are not hit, if the time has come to close, it will get closed. So on the static IP, for IP based or API based, Algomojo will need to have an IP. Will need to give you a static IP using which you will be able to send the order to broker, because the route it takes is the signal comes from here to from TradingView to Algomojo, and we send it to the broker. You're nowhere involved in the middle. It will not come to your internet. It will not touch your internet at all. So we have to provision a static IP in our platform for each customer. So that is where the cost is involved for each customer or each user. Yeah. So when the IP has to, when the mandate, say if it has to go live on 1st of October in terms of static IP, we have laid down a very simple process. All you have to do is take that static IP from us, and like you're copying your webhook URL, you have to just subscribe for that IP from us, and we will manage the IP part for you as such. So there's nothing much that needs to be done from your end. You will maybe have a tab like this. Here you are able to see my API. You will have a section under which your static IP will also be visible. So apart from the API, you will have the static IP also visible in case you want to refer to something. We will also know that you're taking a subscription, and for your usage, we would have allocated those static IPs, and any orders that has to get executed in your account, we'll be using that static IP and sending those orders to your broker. So once you subscribe for this static IP, you can send it, you can trade with any broker. Yes, like as you're saying, the static IP. Suppose you have a static IP at your home, you've taken it from your ISP. That is pertaining to your laptop or your desktop which you are using. So for API based, you will need to take a separate static IP from us. So we keep adding facilities like features here in our website. So the recent additions have been in terms of how to manage your risk in terms of profit and loss, trailing of your stop losses, trailing of your stops using either percentage points, M to M, and even profits for swing traders or investors. You are looking at a profit or a trade you have taken today, and you might need to close. You might hit your target say after a week's time or 10 days time. So for those kind of users, the profit level also can be used as a exit as such. Yes. So these are some things that we have added. We keep adding new facilities and features. And if you have opened an account as Algomojo as a referral, you will get all facilities and features which are current and which we are going to roll out in the future also. So it will be bundled for you. Now, in case if there are some new features that you want to have, you can also request for a new feature. Like all you can do is go to Algomojo, and there's something called ask for a feature. So you can, once you click on this button, it will take you to a page where you can give your definition requirements in terms of your details, whatever is the feature that you're wanting to have for trading investment purpose. So we would take these inputs, check whether it is possible to or feasible to implement it technically and even financially. And if everything is feasible, we will incorporate that feature also. See, if you have screeners like in TradingView, you would have watch list. So you can create a watch list. So suppose you have some stocks in your watch list and you're running super trend, and based on whichever symbol is hitting that criteria of super trend for entry or exit, that can still be implemented. However, you will need a higher level of subscription in TradingView. So all those screeners you can build as a Pine script and apply it onto a list of stocks that you would have in the watch list. And whichever stock is meeting the criteria, the orders can be sent for processing. However, the plan that you need to look for is here would be available under the premium plan and above. You can use two watch lists under the premium plan. Um, so each watch list you can have, I think, hundreds of symbols as such. So you can create 400 alerts and apply it on the watch list. If the number of watch lists is more, then you have to keep upgrading. So the ultimate plan gives about 15 watch list alerts. So you can have 15 watch lists. On each of the watch list, you can create one alert. Watch list based alert creation is available from premium pricing onwards. For the essential and plus plan, it is not available. So sector wise, you can create watch lists and apply these strategies there. Yeah. So we were looking at some price action based and strategy based alert creation. So alert is creation is the only part that needs to be incorporated in TradingView. After that, whenever the signals are generated, the orders can get processed for you. All it's a pretty simple one-time activity of alert creation and one-time definition of what you want to trade in Algomojo. So you can do that, and after that, it can keep working for you perpetually. You need not have to keep doing it every day. Um, every day in the morning around 9 o'clock, come to Algomojo and switch on your trades. That's it. There's no other intervention required. The signals, as and when they keep coming from TradingView, it will get placed into your account with the broker. So when using TradingView strategy, the process is that first you have to select the trading symbol and then the time frame, then load what is the strategy that you want to use, and then create an alert by clicking on that more button. Right. So when you do that, there's a message box in which you have to paste the content, okay, and update the webhook. That is all is the process involved when you're creating an alert using a strategy per se in TradingView. So you come to this message box and paste the content given by us for action and time. That's it. And say create. Uh, it is done. For using indicator, you have to create two alerts. Process is similar, like you select the symbol and then the time frame and load the indicator and click on the more button to add alert on that indicator. And when you are using indicator, there are two things to update it. One is the condition, the other one is the trigger. You have to select these two things. So these two could vary based on the indicator that you are trying to use. And update the message box. So for indicators or price-based action, you have to create two alerts. And in the message box, you can as per the entry of long or short, you have to use the buy or the sell action, and then update the webhook URL. That's it. You are ready for taking the order. Like condition, you have to say, and also trigger whether it is once per bar close, or once only, or once per bar. So depending on your requirement, you have to select these options, and also conditions would vary depending on what you are using. There are things like crossing up, crossing down, greater than, less than, entering channel, exiting channel. So the conditions would be different for different types of indicators that you are trying to use. So select the appropriate condition, and trigger is normally only one, but it is once only or once per bar close kind of thing. And then mm, update the message box for long or short, and update the webhook URL. That's it. There's no other thing to be done at all for you. If you're an options trader, there are some 16 predefined options strategies in our blog. Each how to set it up is detailed under this blog. Kindly have a look at it in case if you want to do an option strategies implementation as such. Coming to Algomojo support, we are available on all working days from 9 to 5, and on Saturdays from 10 to 5. You can contact us using WhatsApp 81055 or you can give us a call 8550 or you can raise a ticket from the Algomojo website. After you log in, there's a facility to raise a ticket, or you can send us an email also at support@algomojo.com. So whatever your queries would be, we would try and address them accordingly. If it's very urgent, if you're in a live trade and you got stuck with something, give us a call or contact us using WhatsApp, or give us, if you have remote access, best thing is to call us. So we can get into remote access and check what is the probable solution required to overcome the problem that you're facing, and then help you do the clean setup. And once you do the setup once, there's no other changes to be done. There's nothing else to be done or monitored. Things can keep working for you. Thanks a lot. My name is Lokesh, and in case if you have any coding requirements in TradingView or in Amibroker, send me a mail, lokesh@finfolab.com, and we will check the feasibility and come back and let you know the costing and time involved as such. We have an extensive blog, algomojo.com/blog. A lot of articles in terms of features and how they could be of help to you is detailed in this blog. Please have a look at them. In case if you have any queries, do let me know. I'll try and address them. Otherwise, we can conclude the session at this point in time. Any queries, use the Q&A box. This recording will be available in case you missed out something. You can always go back to that recording and refer to it. Yes. Right. If there's no other queries, we can close the session. Thanks again for giving us an opportunity to showcase our platform. Hope you'll find it very useful in your trading and investment journey. We are there to support you. We are trying to keep the systems as simple and as user-friendly as possible. We are open to feedbacks. Kindly let us know if you need any new features or facilities in our platform. We'll try and make them available for your usage going forward. Thanks again. Have a nice weekend.